Well, Hugh, we're ready to get underway again. I know Donegal have been involved in the McKenna Cup and a lot of the players have been playing competitive football, but the first real big game of the year, Mayo and Ballybofey, and great rivalry between these two counties.
Yeah, it's probably the real start of the year for us. Ever since the championship draw came out and the fixtures came out for the National Football League, we've been looking forward to this date. We've been back training now a good wee while, and I suppose all preparations have leaned towards the start of the league, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, 4 home games, 3 away. Does that make a big difference in your mindset in terms of what you're going to need to achieve, or is it very much a case 1 game at a time?
It's definitely an advantage. We like to play as many games as we can at home, obviously, and it takes away the logistical difficulties that you face. Sometimes maybe a Saturday away game can be difficult for boys getting off work on a Friday, and I suppose in that terms, it's nice to have the 4 home games. But it really is a case of game by game, especially with the amount of players we have involved in Sigerson, and coming off the back of last year, we had a few bumps and bruises. So it's going to be Mayo, and we're not really looking past that at the moment.
Yeah. Huge interest in what sort of a lineup we're going to see on Saturday night for obvious reasons. 2 good outings in the McKenna Cup. Unfortunately, we had to withdraw then for good reason, people would say. Some of the boys playing in Sigerson as well. Declan has some interesting decisions to make.
Yeah, look, Declan, the management team are going to have their hands full. A lot of the boys who are involved in the Sigersons, as you mentioned, are playing fantastic football. Obviously we have a contingent of boys in DCU, Andrew McLean and them, and Sligo done well, and obviously Michael's boys, Neil White here, playing fantastic. So they're probably the boys that are in the form at the moment, and then you have the rest of us, and you have a few new people into the squad, and they've added a competitive edge towards our training, and Declan and them have plenty of boys to pick from, and it's going to be a case of whoever gets the jersey on Saturday night is going to be very lucky.
Yeah. How difficult is it to go into a game like Saturday night without having played any sort of a competitive game, Hugh? There's a number of you that fall into that category. I'm sure that'll play a big role on Saturday night. Yeah,
look, that's probably up to Declan and the rest of them to see, and to analyse how ready certain people are. Look, preferably you might have 1 or 2 games, but on the same token, look, if you have a good bit of training done, and you'd be hoping that if you're up to the right fitness levels, you'll be alright, given the competitive nature of our training sessions.
Yeah, we're always looking to see who might improve the squad. You're obviously closer than I am to the situation. Training's been going well. Have you seen lights at the end of the tunnel in terms of guys being good enough not only to get into the squad but to get into the team?
Yeah, look, there's probably 2 ways of looking at it. We'd be hoping that the age profile of our squad over the last few years, the boys are going to continuously improve. I think you just have to look at the form of Michael Langan at the moment. Yeah. He was the standout player in Sligo on Sunday afternoon. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Kieran Thompson in the Ulster Club Championship for the Glendies was, I thought, superb as well. So you have all those players, and myself, we have a lot of young boys. Hopefully we can keep improving, and I suppose you look at the performance of Patter Mogan, and Brendan McCall, the captain of DCU and the Sigerson, and we'd be hoping that everybody can just step it up a gear or two, and Patter probably is one of the people who really stood out in the McKenna Cup, is playing very well.
Owen McGilligan's another young man's been in and around as well. Seems to be maturing very well. All the talent in the world. Just a big question is, can he take that big step?
Yeah, look, I think Owen has played some fantastic football, especially for the Donegal underage teams throughout the years. I think he won a Donegal Senior Championship at the age of 17 for Glenties, and he really kick-started his senior club career, and he's all the talent in the world. I thought he played very well again for the LYT on Sunday, and he had a big club championship for Glenties, and I suppose Declan, the boys, will be looking now, and then hopefully can add another competitive player in our forward line, and we have a lot of good forwards, and it's not an easy team to break into, but Owen has applied himself very well over the last 12 months.
Frank McGlynn, the only one that decided to go, a huge loss given his contribution over many years. The rest of the guys that would be termed in that bracket, maybe been around for quite some time, have decided to give it another go, which is very positive.
Yeah, I think it shows the ambitions and the positivity we have in our environment that a lot of people wanted to stay within the squad. And unfortunately, Frank decided, it was his time to move on, and we miss him. You miss not only his footballing skills, but the character. And yourself, Charlie's a fantastic person to have around the environment. And we're down one referee in training already, and and you miss him about. But look, we'd be very positive, and we're delighted to have everyone else on board.
Yeah. I suppose we were all a bit disappointed with the way 2019 finished up, and we can look back at the maybe bad luck we had going into the Super 8s with injuries and one thing and another. The reality is that, we just weren't good enough on the day against Mayo. Does that still linger there, Hugh, in your mindset that, okay, we did very well to get where we did, but we could have done better maybe?
Yeah, it's a long time since the Mayo game now at this stage. I think it was the 3rd of August when we were knocked out of the All-Ireland Series last year, and a lot of time has passed. And ultimately, in my eyes, people talk about Super 8s, and essentially it was still just an All-Ireland quarter-final, and we were beat fair and square in the day. And that pain and hurt is going to linger. I don't think that whatever happens this Saturday night is going to resolve any of the pain of having lost against Mayo last August. It's a game completely on new merits. It's a league game for 2 points, but as you alluded to, 2019 was successful in terms of we got back to Division 1 after winning the Division 2 league. We got our second Ulster Championship in a row. There were some good performances against Meath and that day against Kerry, but unfortunately, we couldn't get over the line in the Kerry Mayo game, and I suppose that those 2 games are going to be a real impetus for us to be motivated to improve this year, and we'd want to be more competitive in those big games. And starting on Saturday night, I suppose we're back in Division 1, and it's an opportunity for us to get better now over the next 8 to 10 weeks before the championship running starts again,
Championship 17th of May. Donegal are talked about a team. They are a team that's going to be at the top table, according to the pundits or experts or whatever that's worth. That 17th of May date still very much in everybody's head, Hugh. This is a period now in the build up to that. I know it may sound a bit silly, it's that far away, but that's what it's all about now.
Yeah, obviously we have the next 2.5 months as National League, and before we go back into the club league.
Yeah.
But that's only 5 months away, and time flies a lot quicker than you think, or 4 months even. 4 months, and between getting fit and maybe if 1 or 2 boys have niggles or bumps and bruises to get healed up, they're going to be in a race to get fit and to be prepared. So it is all about championship, and I suppose the great thing about being in Division 1 this year now, you're really going to be tested to your full potential week in, week out, and hopefully that can just stand to us when we're working our preparations before Tyrone.
Yeah. And just a final point, you mentioned about boys picking up injuries. We have several guys who are out due to injury, hopefully will be back for the championship. But is it the case you just have to get on with and hope those guys will work their way back while this National League's going on and be available, because obviously you want everybody for the championship?
Yeah, we would like to think that we have a good competitive squad. We'd like to think that regardless if we're unlucky on a day that there might be a few people out there, we have enough players to step in and deliver a performance. But I think essentially it comes down to the people who get the jersey on Saturday night have a massive responsibility, not only to themselves or to the squad, but to the people of Donegal to perform. And if they can do so, then they're good enough to keep that jersey, and it's up to the boys that are out injured then to come back and get it, and that hopefully that'll create a good competitive environment.